She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her.
Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, then hi, I'm Lauren and I post videos about lifestyle, luxury and beauty, so if you're interested in any of these topics, please consider subscribing to my channel and stay tuned for the rest of the video. So in today's video, I'll teach you how to pronounce some Hermès vocabulary in French. So we'll start by going over some bag models, then moving on to leathers, and then finally colors. This video was inspired to me by my good friend Anna's Beauty View. If you don't know her already, I'll leave her channel in my description box down below so you'll get to see that. But she did unbox a beautiful Hermès Kelly recently, and that totally inspired me to let you know how to pronounce these words because they're not necessarily so easy. So if you're interested in that, let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, if you're interested in learning how to pronounce the brand Hermès, I already did a video on how to pronounce your favorite French luxury brands, and I will leave it in the little information link right here so you can access it anytime. But we'll start with going over some bags. So obviously there are bags that have English names like Kelly, for example, which I would just pronounce Kelly in French, so there's not much difference, so we'll just skip over that really quickly. Same for the Birkin, it's obviously an English name, so in French you would kind of French-size or something this, and it would be Birkin. And then Garden Party is obviously the same thing, and then same goes for Lindy. So those are pretty much standard English names that we kind of tend to put a French twist on it, but I don't think that you need much help with that. So we'll go ahead and skip to more interesting models like Constance, for example. So let's start with the Constance, and as always in my recurring series of French pronunciation, I will have the spelling right here for you so you can see that. I think that it's usually easier if you can see how the word is spelled. I do think that it helps in the pronunciation. So let's start with the beautiful Constance bag. It's available in two different sizes, 18 and 24, and I was lucky enough to try the 18 in person in the store. Unfortunately, it's really small for me as I'm 5'11", or 180 centimeters, so that's for that. But let's learn how to pronounce it. So, Constance, let's break it down in several syllables. First syllable, con, C-O-N, easy. Constant, S-T-A-N, stan, A-N is en. Constant, N-C-E. Constance, Constance. So Constance is actually a beautiful French first name, very 19th century chic kind of thing. So if I had a daughter, this would totally be a name that I would consider. Not necessarily because it's an Hermès bag, but more so because it's, very classy, French chateau atmosphere. So totally my style. So let's go ahead and try again. Constance, Constance, Constance. So moving on to the second bag, now we have the beautiful Eveline, so it's obviously a lot more common and it seems to be all over my Instagram. So let's learn how to pronounce it. Eveline. So the first E has an accent on it. I know that it's not apparent when it's in English, and also because most likely it's got a capital letter, but there is an accent that indicates that you have to pronounce E, Eveline, Eveline, Eveline. Eveline. Easy, no? Now moving on to another bag that this time does not have a French first name. I didn't tell you, but Eveline is also obviously a French first name. Now let's talk about bolide. So bolide actually means fast car in French, so it still means something, but it's not a French first name. So let's go ahead and start by the pronunciation. Bo, B-O, that's easy. Li, bolide. 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 That's really the easiest in my opinion. There's no complications whatsoever, and every letter is pronounced, no silent letters, no complications. Bolide. And then finally the last bag, which I have to admit has been growing on me lately, is called picotin. So here I know that in English I think that you pronounce that picotin or something of that sort. But in French it's actually picotin, and just like bolide it does mean something, and here it means the quantity of oats that the horse eats. I know it's very specific. So think of putting oats in that bag to feed a horse. That's so sad for an Hermès bag. But alright, so let's start with the pronunciation. Pi, P-I, really easy. Co, Pi-co. Tin, I-N is un in French. Picotin, picotin. That's not that difficult, right? There's just the un at the end. picotin. So now moving on to letter types, the first one that I want to cover is of course the beautiful Clémence. So I do think that Hermès loves to choose French first names to name either their bags or their leather, because this is again a French first name for a girl. So let's go ahead and break it down. Clé. So as you can see, there's the accent on the E, which indicates that you have to pronounce E. Clé. Ment. Se. I-N is en. Clé. Ment. Se. Clémence. Clémence. And just kind of like Constance, it's very classy, very like 19th century chateau French vibes. So this is again another French first name that I would consider if I had a daughter. Clémence. So now moving on to another letter, we have Courchevel. So Courchevel is a French ski resort. Personally, I don't ski, so I've actually never been there. I did ski like 2 or 3 times in Canada, but I would not humiliate myself and do that in Europe because it was not brilliant. So let's go ahead and start with the pronunciation. Cour, so O-U is ou. Cour, remember the R's. You have to really get it from deep down as if you were upset. Cour, che, CH is sh, like sh. Cour, che, and then vel, that's easy. Courchevel, 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 Courchevel. Now on to more common letter types and certainly easier ones for you to pronounce. The first one we have is ipsum. So I do think that it's similar to English. I've actually never heard that pronounced in English, but I'm imagining it should be similar. So let's break it down. Ipsum, easy, right? Ipsum. After that we have swift, swift in French. Swift. It's actually the same. There's a little bit of less of an emphasis on the I, but it's pretty much the same as in English. So let's go ahead. Again, swift. And then after that we have Togo. So I think that in English you pronounce Togo, right? Or something similar. The O's in French are pronounced slightly different, but it's still roughly speaking similar. So let's go ahead. To-go. Oh. It's really oh. Like you're surprised. Oh. Togo. Togo. So we have ipsum, swift, and Togo. And now for the last letter type, I chose this because I thought it was really funny, and to be honest, I was not aware that this was an Hermès letter type, but apparently there is one. I did some research and it's called Vash. So if you haven't heard this word already on my channel, I did a Louis Vuitton pronunciation video, and I will leave it in the little information link right here so you can go ahead and check that out. But remember that vachetta is not a French word, and that it's actually in French cuir de vache, so literally cow leather. So here for Hermès, they just say like cow. It's pretty much straight up the animal. So let's go ahead and learn how to pronounce that. Va, V-A, that's really easy, right? Va, sh, C-H is sh. Vache, vache. And so now moving on to colors, obviously I had to make a selection. I couldn't include all colors in my video because we would be here for basically 2 hours, but there were so many beautiful colors that I had to make a selection, and it was not necessarily easy. So let me know in the description box down below if you'd like me to do another Hermès pronunciation video. I could definitely include other colors. So let's go ahead and start with étain. So first the E as an accent, so you can see E, it's pronounced E. Étain. A-I-N is un. Étain. Étain. And the second color that I chose was étoupe, so actually, roughly speaking, similar pronunciation. So the first E is E again. Étoupe. So O-U is ou. Étoupe. 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 And I obviously had to include black because it's such a classic color for Hermès. So in French we say noir. It's actually pretty much the adjective for black in any other words, not necessarily only Hermès related. So let's go ahead and learn how to pronounce that. Noir. So here there are 2 difficulties. It's obviously a very short word, but there are 2 difficulties. So first, O-I is wa. Like think about it like a dog barking or something. Wa 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 wa. Wa. Noir. R. Again, it has to come from deep down. It has to sound like you're upset. Noir. Noir. And for the next color, we have cré. So again, like in noir, you have to pronounce R from deep down. So cr. And then AI is E. Cré. 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 Moving on to a slightly easier word to pronounce, we have ciel. So ciel actually means sky in French. So let's go ahead and learn how to pronounce that. Ciel. So break it down. C-I, C-L. Ciel. Really easy, right? Ciel. Moving on to 50 Shades of Grey now, or no, I'm kidding, 3 shades of grey. So we have gris asphalte, gris perle, and gris mouette. So let's go ahead and learn how to pronounce grey first. So grey in French is gris. So like for noir and cré, you have to really emphasize the R. It has to come from deep down. So gr, like you're upset. Gr. Gris. The S is obviously silent. So gris, gris. Let's go ahead with asphalt first. So AS, as, that's really easy. PH is F, like think of the letter F. Asfa, asphalte, LTE. Asphalte. So all together, gris, asphalte, gris, asphalte. Easy, right? And so for the second one, we have gris perle. Perle in French is pearl, so think of my little earrings here, des perles. So let's go ahead and learn how to pronounce that. Gris, we have already learned, and then perle, right? So P-E-R, you have to place the emphasis on the R's. Perle. That's easy, right? Perle, gris perle, gris asphalte, gris perle. And then the final grey, which is probably the one that I would choose, to be honest. It's such a beautiful color. So let's go ahead and learn that. Mouette. So mouette is seagull in French. So let's go ahead. O-U is ou, mou, mou, et. Mouette. Mouette. Gris, mouette. Gris, mouette. So we have gris asphalte, gris perle, and gris mouette. And now onto a beautiful pink color, we have rose azalée. So rose in French is pink, or it can also mean the flower, the rose. So rose, again, r has come from deep down, like you're upset. Rose. Rose. Actually, it could also be a first name in French, so all three. Pink, flower, or a little girl's name. Okay, so rose azalée. Let's break it down. Aza, first 3 letters. That's really easy, right? Azalée. So for the E's, you have to look at the accent. So you'll see that the first one has an accent like this. So it's going to be E. Azalée. Lé. Azalée. Rose azalée. Rose azalée. Beautiful color, huh? And now we have anémone, which is a beautiful purple. So let's break it down. A, that's really easy. Né, so you'll see that the first E has an accent again, so E. Anémone. 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 And then now for the shades of blue, I selected 3 different colors. So we have bleu indigo, bleu encre, and bleu atoll. So let's start with the first one. So first, bleu is blue in French. Bleu. So BL is really easy. EU is E. E. Bleu. Bleu. Right? Bleu. Not that complicated. Moving on to indigo. So here let's break it down. IN is un, di, go. Indigo. So all together, bleu indigo. Bleu indigo. Bleu indigo. After that, we have bleu encre. So bleu we have already done. Bleu encre. Encre is ink in French. So let's go ahead and break it down. En, encre. Remember the R has to come from deep down, like you're upset. Cre. Encre. Bleu encre. So we have bleu indigo, bleu encre, and now bleu atoll. So here let's break it down. A, that's really easy. Toll, atoll. Bleu atoll. I kept the easier one for last, right? Bleu atoll. So from the beginning we have bleu indigo, bleu encre and bleu atoll. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed. Don't forget to let me know in the comments down below if you'd like me to do either other brands or to do an Hermès part 2. I would love to include other colors, for example. So let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in my next video.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's not